Well, we mentioned Harry Reid and his debate in Nevada. Just before that debate, he sat down with our own Jonathan Karl, who brought us back this little tidbit, an interesting interview. Take a look.
This has been a nasty Senate race. I mean, this has been one of the most negative races in the country, if not the most negative. Any regrets about the tone?
I have run positive ads, and I've run contrast ads. Every one of my ads doesn't make up things that she has said. I use her voice. I use her speech. These are her words, not mine. I talk about what she's done. I talk about what I've done. Those are contrast ads. How else could you campaign against someone or in a race where she wants to abolish Social Security, get rid of Medicare, she believes it's unconstitutional, do away with the Department of Education, the Department of Energy. She thinks all presidential proclamations, executive orders, are unconstitutional, you know, like the Emancipation Proclamation. She wants to privatize the VA. Don't you think we need some contrast ads? I think so.
Well, watching your ads and your portrayal of Sharon Angle, you get the sense that she's just crazy. I mean, is that the message of your campaign, that she's nuts?
Well, you said it, I haven't.
What do you think?
Well, she's certainly extreme.
Looking back, anything you would have done differently, anything you think that you kind of, missed? I mean, you were in a position of real power, real authority, and look where we are.
We have worked really, really hard, but it was such a deep hole. And I wish we could have done more. As I look back, I realize how much more we have to do, and I'm going to continue fighting for the people of Nevada in this country. Remember, anytime I do anything to help create a job any place in America, it's good for where we are right now, because people with some expendable income can come here, but they can't do it if they don't have a decent job.
And I think it's fair to say Harry Reid landed more blows in a couple of minutes with Jon Karl than he did in a whole hour
maybe,
on the debate stage.
Maybe Jon Karl should be his opponent next time. He should ask for him instead of Sharon Angle. That'd be great. All right, joining us right now, Alex Isenstadt from Politico, covers House, Senate, really everything 2010. Let's pick up where Steve Lombardo left off, or where we left off with him, talking about the possibility of a 10-seat pickup for Republicans. It seems like this week the story has been Democrats getting some momentum, Connecticut looking put away, looking better in West Virginia, Pennsylvania tightening. Tell me what you're hearing and seeing.
Right, absolutely. And the question is it seems like Democrats, if you talk to them and you look at their polling, they seem to believe that their polling is getting better and that it's helping them in some of these statewide races. Perhaps getting Obama out on the trail has helped, maybe in a state like Pennsylvania, maybe Washington's looking a bit better, though that race is still very difficult. But then you've got other races like Nevada, which look very difficult for Democrats, especially after Harry Reid's performance last night, which you've been talking about. So the question is, can Republicans win 10 seats? At this point, that looks difficult. Maybe they're looking more in the 7 or 8 range, but Democrats
not a bad night. Not a bad night, but not quite 10.
Not quite 10, not enough for a pickup, but Democrats feeling a little bit better this week.
Yeah, you hear a lot about the 2 cycles that it may take to pick up the majority there. The House, quite a bit different. You've been looking at the landscape. What have you seen? What changes have you seen? We had a narrative beginning to take hold. It felt like 10 days, 2 weeks ago or so. Democrats on the rebound, closing the generic ballot. Maybe they've got the base coming home. Maybe not so much?
If you talk to Democratic strategists, what they'll tell you is that they're monitoring 65 to 75 races right now. Now, the question is for Democrats is how elastic is their field? I mean, how serious are their problems right now? We hear that the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee is going to start airing ads protecting Raúl Grijalva. How bad can it be for Democrats if that's what's happening? So, you talk to Democrats and they'll concede privately that they could be losing anywhere between 40 and 45 seats. Of course, you talk to Republicans like the one you just had on, and they'll tell you that the increases could be much higher than that. So at this point, it's all sort of a matter of monitoring, polling, and looking at where these races are.
At the end of the day, where do you think that this outside money will have played a part? Are we going to say that this was really the deciding factor in this election, or are we going to say it's just another example of the fact that there's always a lot of money that goes into campaigns?
Yeah, it's the old expression is money follows momentum, right? And in a lot of cases, these Republican outside groups can have an influence, and they're in a position to claim influence over these races because they're funneling money into races where Republicans don't have enough money to go up on the air against better funded Democratic incumbents. And so the question is where are these outside groups going to spend millions and millions of dollars in the next 2 weeks? Now, one interesting point is we've heard them say in the Wall Street Journal this week they're going to spend $50 million. Yeah. We'll see if that's really the case.
Well, it's easy to say that, yeah.
2 weeks is only so much time.
Well,
so.
and Democrats have scrambled lately to try to match some of this. It seems like they're coming up short in all their efforts. Do you have a read on why they didn't get into this game earlier? This court opinion happened in January.
Right. Well, a couple of things. First of all, President Obama told Democratic groups way back when he was running for president that he didn't want them to have anything to do. And so he basically shut them down in 2008. That's probably carrying over to...
He didn't need them in 2008.
He didn't need them in 2008, and he didn't want them either. And so that he sort of shut them down. That's carrying over to 2010. But the other thing is there's just Democratic fatigue out there. There's donor fatigue, and Republicans right now are much more excited. They sense opportunity, and they're spending big bucks.
Yeah, the one place that was sort of surprising to me, Maurice Hinchey. There's that one in upstate New York that the American Crossroads says that they're gonna play in. Are there other places like this you're looking at and you're saying, wow, we should really be paying attention to some of these districts that we just haven't talked about in years?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, American Crossroads is also going into Ron Klein's district where he's trying to fend off Allen West, who's got a lot of money to spend. And you're seeing a few other groups. You're seeing some groups going to North Carolina where Mike McIntyre is running for re-election. So you're definitely seeing these outside groups their goal is to expand the field. That's their goal. They're trying to play where the NRCC isn't necessarily playing.
And one thing that's remarkable this year is you're still seeing it expand. Even at this late stage, we're going into new places, places that we didn't see on the map before. Democrats have to then defend against that. At the same time, it drains some resources there.
Right, and we may not have a good impression of how big this field is until the very final days, I think. I think it's just so elastic at this point. It's just so hard to get a real read on where this is.
And there's always surprises. I mean, that's the thing. We can say we know what the field is, but then someone's going to lose.
We're going to have, basically, there are 435 seats up for once, right? Instead of talking about the same 30 or 40. All right, we want to give some viewer predictions here. We heard Steve Lombardo saying 60 seat loss.
Give us a number.
Where are you?
45 low end, I'd say 55 high end probably at this point.
Okay, good. I like that.
More conservative.
I like it. Finally, somebody putting a
giving
number
us an actual number. We like it. Alex Isenstadt from Politico. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Don't forget to watch Christiane Amanpour on Sunday. On this week, she is going to Delaware. She's on the road, on the campaign trail. She talks to both Christine O'Donnell and Chris Coons.
Yes, and also don't forget to watch the Colorado Senate debate streaming live at abcnews.com/politics.
Just a few seconds from now, as a matter of fact.
That's right.
Twitter.com/Rick Klein, Twitter.com/Amy E. Walter. I guess he's right about a fixed income. It's just how high it's fixed.
That's true. I mean, I can barely live on that.